I'm curious here. I just want to know how many of you are actually giving a flying fuck about Extreme Rules 2020, the horror show, as WWE wants to call it right now. If you're going to tell me that you are, I already know you're full of shit. I just know. Anyway, if you think about it, this weekend is a wrestling weekend. This Saturday night, you have Impact Wrestling Slammiversary 2020, which I'll be watching. I'll be doing a review. I'll also be recording a predictions later on tonight. And right now, as I'm recording this right now, this is your WWE Extreme Rules 2020 preview and prediction, the horror show, ladies and gentlemen, as they're calling it. As I'm recording right now, it is July 16, 2020. This is another installment of Around the Point. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up and share throughout your entire social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven and a lot of fun stuff. All right. So, like I said, I honestly am looking at this card and I'm like, you know what? I know it's Thursday. Smackdown's tomorrow. They'll probably will announce more matches for tomorrow for the pay-per-view. But I'm at a point where it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Just fuck it at this point in juncture. Okay? I didn't watch Raw on Monday. And I knew Raw was the go-home show for Extreme Rules. And I've always said that the purpose of a go-home show is to get you, the fan, excited for the show coming up on the weekend. Make you want to tune in on the weekend and all that fun stuff, right? And they have not done that. And again, I didn't watch Raw. I didn't watch it. And I watch people that do reviews, people that I watch and I listen to on the daily. And what I gathered is, hey, Raw was a bore. So I really didn't miss much. Okay. But anyway, let's go through these predictions real quick. And if you guys want to chime in with your thoughts on what you think will go down this Sunday with Extreme Rules, chime in. Again, they're calling it the horror show, which I think is completely stupid. Stupid name. If you want to call it Extreme Rules, it's called Extreme Rules. But the idea of it's a horror show, it's dumb. When I think of horror show, I would think of October. I would think of Halloween Havoc. Not fucking Extreme Rules, which over the years have been a hardcore type of a match, or matches, if you will. And now all of a sudden, hey, it's a horror show, but it's stupid. Whatever. Anyway, chime in with your predictions in the comment threads. If not, let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. We start off with Apollo Crews versus MVP for the U.S. title. Now, a couple of weeks ago, MVP presented the new U.S. Championship, which I thought overall was a very nice looking belt. I did do a video on it with my overall thoughts on the championship. At the same time, how I feel WWE, for right now, is going to present it, make a big deal out of it. But as time goes on, they're going to stop giving a shit because that's WWE for you. At the end of the day, the U.S. title was never really a WWE championship. It was a title from WCW that they just had as a mid-card belt, and they'll make it a big deal whenever they want to. I hope with this new title that they do make it a big deal going forward and all that stuff. And for what it's worth, you know, again, Apollo Crews has been the U.S. champion, hasn't been seen for a couple of weeks now. MVP has been trying to recruit Apollo Crews to join his stable with Bobby Lashley. And Apollo Crews not having it. He wants to be this fighting champion. And all is leading to this moment right now, right? As far as a match, should be okay for a TV type of a match, right? I do see Apollo Crews obviously getting the win. It's silly that MVP is carrying around this championship that he hasn't even won. But that being said, I do see Apollo Crews getting the win over MVP and walking out with this new U.S. title. So there's that. From there, we go on to Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in an eye for an eye match, where the match can only be won when one competitor extracts an eye of their opponent. So in other words, the eye got to come out. And I just want to know, in all honesty here, on what weed, on what cocaine, on what heroin, on what drug were they on, the people in creative, when they came up with the concept of this fucking match? I really want to know. Seriously. I think it's stupid. If you just want to have a singles match, that's fine. The story here is Seth Rollins did injure Rey Mysterio like a month or so ago when he did put his eye in the corner of the steel steps and just shoved it in there. Rey's eye was bleeding. These past couple of weeks on television, Rey via satellite was doing these interviews, these sit-down interviews, and he had his eye covered, right? Even though there's been episodes of Raw where you could see through the mask, right? And you can see that his eye was perfectly fine. They've had Dominic also on television. A couple of weeks ago, Dominic did attack Seth Rollins, and he did try to outsmart Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy for what it was worth. So there's that too. There's also this whole thing where Rey Mysterio is right now, as we speak, on a handshake deal with WWE. Meaning if he wants, Rey Mysterio this coming Wednesday can show up on Dynamite and challenge Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship if he wants to. I mean, we don't even know if Rey has signed a new deal with WWE or not. Apparently, Rey wants more money. WWE does not want to do that right now or offer more money because, again, they let so many people go, the pandemic and all that stuff. So that's up in the air. But with all that being said, if there's no new deal, I don't see a reason why you're going to have Rey Mysterio walk out with the win. That being said, Seth Rollins does pick up the win. Again, it's going to be a CGI style of a match, or CGI effects, if you will. But again, it's so stupid, it's so corny. Makes no fucking sense to me. The whole purpose of trying to pull out an eye, like, we know it's not going to happen. That being said, Seth Rollins does get the win. Unless they end up signing a new deal for Rey, then that can probably change. From there, we have Bayley versus Nikki Cross for the Smackdown Women's Championship. They've had matches before, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, at the same time, I have been enjoying this run of Bayley and Sasha as the tag team champions of the women's division. What they've been doing on Raw, on SmackDown, hell, even that match on NXT a couple of weeks ago, right? I've enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. But this match, I just don't care. I know Bayley's winning. I don't see any reason why you put the SmackDown Women's Championship on Nikki Cross. I don't see it. Not right now, that is. So there's that. Speaking of Bayley, we go on to the Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka defending the Raw Women's Championship versus Bayley's partner, Sasha Banks, the other half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Sasha Banks did issue a challenge to Asuka, even though everyone thought it was going to be Bayley. But there's that. A couple of weeks ago in NXT, it was Sasha versus Io Shirai. Asuka got involved, hit the misc on Sasha. So there's that build-up, for, if you will. It should be a fun match. Listen, those two girls can go out there and they can tear it up. No doubt about it. I wouldn't be surprised if Sasha Banks versus Asuka is the match of the night. Would not be surprised, right? That being said, who do I see winning the belt here? I do see Asuka retaining her championship. I don't see any reason why you take the belt off Asuka right now. They're teasing this whole thing where Sasha and Bayley are going to break up and milk it to SummerSlam. We shall see. But again, I don't see any reason why you put the belt right now on Asuka. My bad, on Sasha Banks. Not happening. I'm sorry. From there, we go on to Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in a Wyatt Swamp match. So it's a non-title match. So Braun Strowman is not defending the Universal Championship. Last time they had a match at Money in the Bank, we saw Braun versus Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt from the Firefly Funhouse in their match for the Universal title, where Braun did win. So now we're getting the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. It's going to be a cinematic match. So back to the cinematics we go with WWE. And for what it's worth, I've enjoyed their cinematic matches, right? From the Boneyard match from WrestleMania, the Firefly Funhouse match with Cena and Bray Wyatt, to the one final beat of Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano, to the one to the freaking backlog brawl match from In Your House, to even that little corny bit between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits from Backlash with the Ninjas and Tosawa. Some people thought it was corny. I thought it was there, if you will. So this will also be very cinematic. It should be fun for what it's worth. From my understanding, they're doing this whole thing where it's the three faces of Bray, right? Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds. And this will lead to SummerSlam, where Braun Strowman will face The Fiend. So that being said, how do you get there? I say let's have Bray Wyatt beat Braun Strowman here in this swamp match. And from there, it leads to The Fiend challenging Braun for the Universal title, and that's where The Fiend gets the belt back. So that's how we do. I see it happening. I see Bray Wyatt getting a win. Holy shit, something I thought I would never said, because last time you would predict Bray Wyatt, he would end up losing. So there's that. Again, it's Thursday as I'm recording this right now. Tomorrow is SmackDown. If I'm to predict some matches they'll announce, I mean, I could have sworn we're going to get Jeff Hardy and Sheamus in the bar fight. So there's that. Unless they scrape the mat. But if that's the case, I'm going to go with Jeff Hardy. Okay. I think also we're probably going to be getting this Sunday Schinsky, Nakamura, and Cesaro versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Because why the fuck not, right? For what it's worth, it should be a fun match. I see the New Day retaining the championships here. At the same time, I would not mind seeing Nakamura and Cesaro walking out with the tag team titles, even though it's kind of a letdown, if you will. But they're like this makeshift tag team, so fuck it. And likely, maybe not. We'll see. Lacey Evans and Naomi. We'll see about that one as well. I know tomorrow is going to be AJ Styles versus Matt Riddle for the IC title. I mean, they couldn't wait, but yeah, they could probably do it on the paper. They could also probably do it at the pay-per-view as well. We shall see. So there's that. We now get the main event. The main event of the evening. We get Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE title. I can't believe Dolph Ziggler is getting a WWE Championship match. Just like last year, right? Last year after WrestleMania 35, what was it? Because Kevin Owens didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, we had Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler in these series of matches because it should have been Dolph. It should have been him. And now here we go. For what it's worth. I mean, again, it's the filler match on the road of in the reign of Drew McIntyre as WWE champion. I mean, you gotta get to the SummerSlam somehow, right? So so apparently as well, the stipulation is that Dolph Ziggler gets to pick the stipulation. We don't know what it is yet. We don't know. It could be a ladder match for all we fucking know, but we'll see. That being said, it'll be stupid of them. It'll be stupid of them if they give the belt to Dolph Ziggler. I don't see it happening the way I look at it, and still, as it should be, WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. And then we get to SummerSlam. It's Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. That is basically your Extreme Rules Horror Show predictions. Again, it's a stupid name. They're calling it the Horror Show. If you want to see a horror show from WWE, tune into Monday Night Raw and Smackdown on Fox on Fridays. That's my humble opinion. Dorks, give me your thoughts in the comment threads below. Your thoughts on the pay-per-view coming up this Sunday and all that stuff. Later on today, I will be recording my Slammiversary predictions for 2020. Who will be the fourth man? All that fun stuff. So again, if you're not yet subbed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. Share it to the social media. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. I am Steve, and this has been Around the Point.